Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. We're taking a very quick look here at XRP. We're going to start with some liquidation data, kind of see what's going on with that and kind of go from there. Quick congrats to our community for some nice profits here on our SCY long, 50% from our trade we took last week. Keep in mind, folks, profits are not pouring in. They're fairly inconsistent just because I don't like to go too hard or too heavy in one direction because we keep seeing these ripsaws. Good news is XRP and majority of other coins have broken fairly bullish on the macro structure. We'll talk about that. And then we take a look here as well. We can recognize that 235 is likely the next target based on liquidation. That's just below the local low, and it's a very standard place for the price action to go when there's a lot of people hedged at that point. So just know that it's got a target on its back, that 235. From a macro, a little bit larger perspective, 221 is that secondary area. So 235 and 221 seem to have a lot of incentive, or they're creating more incentive, if you will, those who consistently are taking longs at what they feel is the bottom. Not to say you couldn't still do that. XRP is still looking good. It's just, if you're using too much leverage, you're gonna have a target on your back. I use 5x leverage on all trades minus Bitcoin. That's 10x for example. So that 50% profit we saw, 5x leverage trade, 10% movement basically. Having said that, we see liquidation delta is starting to climb. In other words, climbing to the downside, implying more shorts are in the market right now for this coin, which makes perfect sense to me. If you saw my analysis from yesterday, I was fairly neutral to bearish in the overall sense, just based on the simple fact that Bitcoin is topping out, XRP kind of moving very similar and more inversely paired with Bitcoin, not really performing super well. We had this nice little catalyst here, of course, but outside of a really big pump, we've been seeing the price action work itself into a range. We've lost our ascending trend line here. So hypothetically, the price comes up and we see a bearish backtest of that local point of control and or that ascending trend. It's a really common occurrence. So not to say I want to short this coin, but it's giving us some signs that it may be advantageous to consider, depending on the margins, of course. Having said that, we got some good support here. Keep in mind, 235 to 242, really nice support range based on moving averages, points of control, a lot of good stuff there. So, until we lose 240, we're in pretty decent shape. However, we've lost our ascending trend and we're tentatively underneath that level right now. And I personally feel like Bitcoin's going to pull back a little bit. If you take a look at my Bitcoin analysis, we have a power 3 structure forming here if we lose the 86.5 range. And we got a CME gap down there as low as about 84.5 for Bitcoin. That's a distinct probability. We've seen 3 power of 3 movements this month so far. Basically what it does is you see these type of trends here. In other words, here, I got an education section in our Discord. It looks a little something like this, where you have an accumulation phase followed by manipulation, where we do trap late shorts, and then it did just pump the price action up with the expansive wave. So very similar structure there on Bitcoin. If that comes to pass, I do think further downside makes sense for this coin. Daily time frame though, keep in mind until we lose 240, I think we're in decent shape. We technically haven't closed below that yet today. So if we look at basically the 200, all moving averages are really close to the price action, kind of reinforcing this resistance here in this range. So it does seem practical that the price action is going to continue lower concurrent with Bitcoin. Same thing here as well. We've lost 50 on the RSI, stochastic swinging down, money flow index is low, MACD diverging. These are pretty much every single identification that we're losing this trend and we're going to continue lower. Ichimoku cloud, let's go ahead and see if we get full confirmation, which we do. We are below the cloud, lagging spans free and clear, and conversion lines below the baseline. So hypothetically, the price pulls up a little bit. I would say shorting at 242, 243 makes a lot of sense here for a very tentative pullback. Okay, I want to emphasize the word tentative too, folks, because we do have some confluence here, a lot of local lows, decent amount of support there to the downside. Just note, incentive is very high for the whales to sweep this lower level of 235 and or possibly even the macro range of 221. If that happens, we'll probably see Bitcoin in the 85K range, or more importantly, 85K range will cause this to happen. If Bitcoin comes down that low, XRP is going to follow. Okay, so it's kind of where we're at there, folks. Not fantastic at all. I think we're soon to see a bit of a dump, but be interested to see how it holds too if it does. All right, folks, that's all we got here. Hope you learned something today. Comment below if you get a chance. Let me know what your position is on XRP. Join us over too on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Last thing that's important too as well, Bitunix just rolled out with this here for the next 30 days. We got a nice futures bonus and progressive prize pool. This actually gets quite substantial as the trading volume increases. So check that out, folks. They're awesome exchange, no KYC or VPN required. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks so much for your time. See you soon.